If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification.
Okay students, welcome you all to this new lecture. Today I have taken some questions on protection. Okay, then let's
So in
start.
question number 1, they have asked you, they have given a distribution system and they are asking which of these directional overcurrent relay should be directional. Which of the overcurrent relays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be directional for this protection. Now you see, if you see the directional property, the common idea is suppose if you have a double directional elements overcurrent relay are used where you have a double feeding option, that means current can be fed from both sides. So here two sides are feeding and this is a load. So you always remember the generator side, but the bus where generator is connected, that relay should be always bidirectional. So generator side relay or source side relay is always bidirectional because it should trip in whatever direction it should flow, current should flow. So the directional features will come normally where we need more selectivity. More selectivity means only that line should be taken out if there is any fault. So you will see, so if you see this feeder, so this feeder anywhere this is fault, this will trip because it will trip here, anywhere. But suppose current is coming from that side, I want to trip. In that case, that current should not come from that side, so that this side remain healthy. If there is any fault here, suppose there is a fault here, then no current should come here. This should trip, okay, but no current should come to here. This will isolate this part, but still current can come from this side. So I want to isolate this whole line so that other part remains same. So you always think, so this should be direction features of this one, and here because it is bidirectional, so this should be in this direction. So this is, you can think of protecting the feeder. If you see this line, so this line has to be protected. It is protected from this side by using this, so from this side it should be protected. So from here also, and this low side, because current cannot go that side, that way current cannot come from load to reverse. So this is again no need, no intention. So this is directional features is given when the current can come from another side. If there is a fault in that line, current can come from other side, then only directional features will come. So now we can understand which one should be your directional. So obviously 2 and 3 should be. So this is very standard practice. You have feeder, you have this one bidirectional, so this side should be directional if current can come from this side. This is very standard. Suppose this is generator and current can come from this side, so for any fault this entire line should be out. This will out this one, so this should out if there is a reverse current flowing. So that's the idea for the directional relay, to increase more selectivity. So you remember always the generator side, it will be always bidirectional. Load side, because load cannot come here, again it will be bidirectional, but you have to generator side, it is certain that it should be bidirectional. And these you have to think whether current is coming in, if whether current can come from other side. If can come from other side, then you protect other end of this end is already protected because current is coming from this side. So to protect this one, you think whether current can come from other side. If current can come from other side, then you put a directional element here. If no current can come from this side, then no need for this relay itself. The more the distance relay, which are inherently directional property, the second one you can see. So you have seen in the switchgear classes, the Moore relay, in the RX plane the diagram was this. There was RX plane characteristics, BX plane characteristics. You please go through that characteristics. These are very important aspects. So if you in RX plane, this was section 1 was for quadrant 1 was for forward, quadrant B third was for backward fault. I have explained this one. In that you can check that out. So because Moore relay doesn't has any operational area in third quadrant, so it has no operation for backward fault. It will trip only for forward fault. So that means it becomes, by default it becomes a directional. So Moore relay is the answer. And on other relay you will see impedance relay, it will take 4 quadrant, reactance relay like this, resistance relay like this. You have seen all other relays. Third one is reactance relay is normally preferred for protection against. So if you see the reactance relay characteristics, again you can refer that these are the trip characteristics. This zone is trip zone. Below this it will trip. You set a value below that, it will trip. Now this is the fault characteristics. Fault characteristic, this was the fault characteristic. Now if you add R, this fault characteristics will move to this side. It will move to this side because you are adding R. So the amount of X, suppose this was the X you are protecting of the line, so that remains same. So because X remains same, it will still trip. Suppose your line length is up to this much, you have protected, so this length will be always protected because you are protecting this much length, this much X of the line, so this much is protected. So height is always protected. So if you are adding R, you keep on add, it will shift on this side, but the X remains same. So below that X, it will always trip. So the tripping will not be affected. So that's why it is for earth fault relay, because earth fault relay is resistive in nature. So if you are adding resistance, then there will be no effect. So it is generally against earth fault. Question number 4. So the Buchholz relay, the first one you have already seen. Buchholz relay is always for transformer, that is A is for Q, that is Q. Then B, Transley relay. Transley relay is also a differential protection type, but in differential protection we compare current, whereas in Transley we are comparing the voltage. So it is generally done in feeder. In feeder, both side voltage are compared and then a differential protection scheme is developed. Because in feeder there will be so many taps, currents will be taken. So incoming current and outgoing current will be, lots of difference will be there. You don't know how much current is going. But if there is a fault, there will be voltage difference between these ends. So that idea has been used. So Transley is always for feeder. That is for P. Now see what is carrier current phase comparison relay. Carrier current phase comparison relay is for long overload protection, that is for U, because it is again differential protection, but as the line length is very high, it is long line, very long line, so there is a carrier communication is required to communicate between these two current and this current and this current. There should be a communication, then only you can compare, otherwise how you will compare. So that's why carrier current phase comparison is only for long overhead transmission line application. D, directional overcurrent relay. Directional overcurrent relay you have seen. Directional overcurrent relay you have seen in question number 1, where you have used directional overcurrent when there is a double feeding option. Power current can come from both sides. So if you see the right hand side, your options in these options. So you have ring band distributor. You have seen ring band distributor. Ring is formed. Suppose there is a power from this side. There can be other sources connected. So current can flow this side. Current can flow this side, depending upon the loads also. So there is a bidirectional current flow options. So that's why there in that case you need a directional protection. So for T. E, negative sequence. Negative sequence you have seen for generators. For generators we want to keep all the three phases RYB should be balanced. Balanced current should flow on the three. If somehow in one phase there is a less current or imbalance in the current distribution, then there will be a negative sequence component. In case of imbalance, positive, negative, 0, 3 will come. So because of negative sequence, there will be a rotation in the reverse direction. So that idea has been used in negative sequence relay. So it is always used for alternators or generators. So that in generator we don't want to keep unbalance between the currents. So in question number 5, the fault current is 2000 ampere, relay setting is 50%. What is PSM? What is 50% setting? 50% setting means plug setting. Plug setting means the threshold value. What threshold you are giving? Means beyond that it should trip. If your current CT secondary current is beyond that, it should trip. So what is your plug setting? It is 50%. So 50% of what? Of rated secondary current, because it is 400:5. That means secondary current you have, normal current you are using or rated current you are using 5. So 50% of 5 means, so 2.5 ampere. That means anything above 2.5 ampere it will trip. Next is for PSM. Now what is the formula for PSM? PSM is the fault current. Now you see what is the fault current. It is 2000 ampere and it is 400:5. So you divide by 400, multiply by 5. What is the fault current? That is secondary is sensing. The secondary is sensing 25 ampere. So PSM is the ratio between these two. More fault current, more will be PSM, because it is the fault current is how many times of your, because your setting is 2.5. So it is how many times of your setting. If it is a severe fault, it is a more extreme fault, then your PSM will be increasing, because it is much more than your setting. Your setting is 2.5, your fault current is 25, which is much more than your setting. So that's why that is the idea of PSM. It will give how severe your fault is. So it is 10. So PSM is 10. Okay, then that's all for today. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.